You're listening to the ReachCast show, your weekly stop for the latest and greatest in the PlanetSide 2 universe and its community.
What's up, everybody? It is September 2nd, and you are listening to episode 49, almost to 50, of the ReachCast show. Proud members of our Access Global Network and the Podcast Network, Podcast with a K. I am your host, Adam, a.k.a. Torx, and with me tonight are my boys, Tom, a.k.a. Knox.
What's up?
And Mark, a.k.a. Derringer.
Hello, everybody.
Very nice. Brought to you this week by our buddy Mono, and also great listeners like you guys via the Support the Show tab on ReachCastShow.com. We play with 666 Devil Dogs, Imperial Reach, and Numeros Unos Compadres this week.
I have to say that you're not giving their full name.
I'm not?
No. What's his name? Zoidberg gave me their full name, and it's extremely long. And so I told him that they are officially no ucking clue.
I thought their official name was Numeros Unos Compadres. Is that alright?
And it keeps going and goes on and on.
It's only 3 letters, pretty sure.
I know, but the name that he has is official. It just goes on and on.
Oh, well.
Ask him. He'll tell you.
Looking forward to hearing that one. Alright, so what's in store for the episode? We have a new faction battle idea from SOE. SOE has some layoffs. ReachCast U and Research Labs by our buddy Knox here. Some calls and emails. And some more stuff. So I'm not playing the the patch updates bumper since we don't have any.
Because there were no patches this week, so we're rolling straight into community briefing.
Community briefing, it is.
Attention, soldiers! Get your butts in here for this week's community briefing.
It's a little sad not playing the patch notes song.
No swearing child.
I know. I think a lot of it's because, well, don't forget Maggie's in Panama this week, or was in Panama, so other people got to hold down the fort, stuff like that. So, anyways, like we said, community briefing, no patch notes. First up in community briefing, Friday Night Ops made its triumphant return, this time with Hamma and guest star Clegg. They spent a little bit of time in the beginning talking about the World Domination series that Torx alluded to earlier in the show. Everyone also should have gotten an email in their inbox kind of hyping you up for the World Domination series. But to give you some more info on what the WDS is, it's going to be a server-wide tournament happening across all servers. Clegg, Malorn, and Taylor will be the devs representing the 3 factions. Clegg NC, Malorn TR, and Taylor will be heading up the VS. Taylor is one of the devs who works on the Player Studio. Every server will also have a Machinima YouTube partner that will be making weekly videos, from what I was told. The event itself is going to last for 5 weeks, and it's going to be very similar to the Ultimate Empire Showdown they had last year, but on a much larger scale. And rather than being just one day, it's going to be on a much longer time period, like we said, 5 weeks. They're going to be awarding points for base caps, as well as how long a faction controls particular bases and points. Leaderboards will be available online, and weekly updates will be given on Friday Night Ops. And it's going to be starting in early September. No exact date when that's going to come out yet, but something for everyone to look forward to. I know that I will be fighting for the VS.
Cool.
Nice.
I'll be fighting the NC, baby. Clegg, you and I, bro.
I'll be fourth faction.
What do you mean 4th faction?
I'm joking.
He's going to go to the winning servers.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick the winning server.
I'm going to
faction.
DM Malorn on Twitter and let him know that you said that this week.
I'm all TR, baby. I bleed.
Remember, he's
bleed
tall.
red. He is. That's a big boy. That is a big boy. He would smash me.
He'd smash you right on top of the head.
He would. I'd be dead.
Oh my! All right.
Next up I got to finish up one last thing on Friday Night Ops. Clegg was giving away a bunch of station cash throughout the evening, doing little events like harasser races and things like that. It was more a laid-back, fun show, not so much a here's a whole lot of information, here's a whole lot of dev questions, stuff like that type of show. But definitely a good show this week. If you didn't see it, pop back in. We'll put the link in this week's show notes. At least watch the first half hour or so to get all the information on the World Domination Series.
Sweet. All right. SOE's announcement. Layoffs. SOE.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But last Wednesday, SOE announced a reduction in force to help reduce costs, streamline the employee base, and align resources towards their current portfolio of games, including PlanetSide 2. A reply from Josh was, with regards to the PS2 team, our current drive to improve client performance is in no way going to lessen, and we are still committed on improving and expanding PlanetSide 2 with quality game updates and stellar content. So that was a lot of not fun announcement.
I will say that I was very worried when I first saw that come across. But I do think that Josh's reply there kind of just sums it all up and hopefully quells any fears that anybody has.
What fears do people have that the game is...
Well, people worried that certain devs that they know and love just got let go and aren't going to be working on PlanetSide 2 anymore.
Pretty much everyone you know and love is still there, from what I understand.
I don't think they'll ever come out with a full list of who was let go. But I don't expect them to.
Yeah, I think that would not be.
That would be very.
These are the people, and these are their family members.
Yeah.
No, probably not going to happen.
Like I said, I don't expect them to. But you're right, Dox, when you said it before. Kind of disheartening news to hear that. But it happens everywhere, everybody. You know?
Well,
every company lays people off every now and then.
Not every company. Stuff happens.
Show me a company that has never laid anybody off.
Okay. I will link you several of them after the show.
No, I want to hear one right now.
No, I'm not going to talk about that right now.
That's because there aren't any.
Okay. You work for a horrible company. I can tell already, just listening to you.
I don't work for a horrible company, but I understand the reality of how the work works in the United States.
There's a lot of companies that have layoffs, but not every company lays off. That is not a true statement. But the next thing that we did find in the forums is that people asking for Waterson to merge. Now, Evil Mind asked on the forums openly if they were any more server merges planned with Waterson. Maybe merge it with Connery or Matherson. And Radar X replied that there are no plans to do server merges at any time soon. So I'm not sure what the idea was. Do you guys think we need a merge on Waterson?
Well, Evil Mind plays NC, and there's certainly been a lot of outcry recently by NC players on Waterson that they're not doing as well. I don't know. I don't play there a lot, but we do know that Waterson has a pretty big population of TR, and I think that the VS and the NC on Waterson are starting to feel that a little bit.
It's been TR dominant ever since release, really, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. But there were a lot of good
played there.
Yeah, but there were a lot of good outfits on both VS and NC that could hold their own. Like DVS was a large presence on NC, and
yep.
You got some VS people too. You have like Xenobon Slot,
right,
and some stuff like that. I mean, honestly, Waterson is TR heavy during prime time. That has been pretty much the case since release, but it varies throughout the day. Like you'll get some periods where it's very VS heavy. Sometimes it's right out even during parts of the day, but during prime time, most of the time it's TR heavy. I don't know if it really needs a merger though. I mean, a lot of the recommended server initiative that SOE has put in place has increased the VS population pretty substantially on Waterson. So.
Well, it's increased TR population on Matherson too, so it's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think I would wait to see how that plays out. Maybe a couple more months of that before I'd say let's merge, because there's enough people. It's not the amount of players is a problem. I think it's just that maybe he's bothered by the balance, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if one like Knox just said, the Matherson TR population has increased. I wonder if it has hit a point now where Waterson will be the next one for NC and VS, or NC specifically, to start getting that influx of if a new player chooses to play NC, they're going to be funneled directly over to Waterson.
I'd be down for that, for sure.
Either way, the main point is that Raider X said there's no plans for any server merges, so really no one should be even wondering, asking, or anything like that. They do have the data. They will make decisions like that somewhere down the line, maybe 10 years from now. Nothing.
Sounds great.
Jokes are going over like lead balloons tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a slow
Community
night.
question of the week. Yeah, it's late. Everybody had a 3-day. Well, the three of us
That
had
was a
3-day
joke?
weekends. Yeah, 3-day weekend. We're all still tired. I've been at freaking cookouts all weekend, so getting my drank on.
Oh no. Oh.
Well, community question of the week. Last week we asked, if you had to pick one performance issue to be fixed before SOE began spending time on New Continent, what would you want it to be? The top 3 comments on this, and we got even more comments to this week's questions than we did last week, and last week was a record. So, top 3. Number 1, multi-core support. Number 2, fixing frame rates under heavy load.
Which I said.
Yeah, but you didn't specifically say under heavy load.
Yeah.
Like, let's say when you
Performance
get...
increase is frame rate increase. Let's be serious.
You're absolutely right, it is. But there's a difference between increasing frame rates standing in the warp gate and increasing frame rates when you're in the middle of a biolab fight going up against 250 other people. The number 3 top request was to eliminate crashes. Are you guys still getting that where every time you exit out of the game, it crashes?
But I don't care about that.
But I mean, really, does that really matter? I could really care less if it
crashes when I exit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get rid of it either way, right?
Of all things to increase, that should be the lowest of all priorities.
Someone joked, saying, PlanetSide 2 is not responding. He's like, no duh, I quit the game. That wasn't the only crash that
I have crashed a couple times.
That wasn't the only crash people were mentioning. They were talking about other crashes in the game. Not just the one where you exit out. But the one where you exit out is kind of annoying.
To me, it just happens after playing for a while, so I automatically just assume it's memory.
It's a memory leak problem. I'm pretty sure you're right on that one, because it's
I've noticed one thing I've noticed with this game, and just a lot of FPSs in general, is regarding what I believe to be memory leaks, is the longer I'm playing, the worse I do, but it's not necessarily like because I'm getting tired or something, because then if the game does crash, or if I quit and come back, I'll be just like ripping it up at the start, just killing guys without any issues, and then after maybe half an hour to an hour, I'm not getting kills. If I quit and come back, I'll be no problem. And hit registration just goes to hell after a period of time for me.
I think your uppers are just kind of laying off, and so if you take that break and you're able to do your uppers again.
I'm not even taking a break, okay?
Well, that's a...
all I do is quit and come back. That's all I do.
Do you exit out of the game altogether, or...
Close the game, load back up without any break. It's not like I haven't gotten up to go get some water or something, and then instantly I'm doing significantly better again.
Well, that's not a bad tip, just for people to take in mind.
Yeah, well, and then one thing I had too, regarding the performance issues, is hit registration just went to hell after that period of time. I unloaded an entire LMG, entire NS-15M clip into the back of a guy. Didn't die.
Oh, God. Dang, that's pretty bad.
Straight in his back.
That is pretty bad.
And he didn't die. He turned around and killed me. I threw my mouse and walked away.
I'm done with this.
He probably just maxed out NanoWave.
Yeah, 55 rounds.
Rank 100 of NanoWave. You just can't even kill with a tank shell. Straight up AP you're on.
So there were a number of other suggestions, including requests to fix the HUD, because that seems to cause a huge FPS drop when it's on, and other requests such as moving from DirectX 9 up to DirectX 10 or even 11, because DirectX 9 is certainly a much older version than the current one that's out. Now, in response to the DirectX comments, a lot of people speculated that the reason they stick with DirectX 9 is because a a lot of people in China are using Windows XP still, which does not play well with DirectX 10 or 11. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
A lot of people still use Windows.
Yeah, a lot of people still stick with XP.
You can even use 10 or 11 on XP, let alone use it well.
Well, you can use 10 on XP. It's not pretty, but you can. Good luck with those people that won't play Star Citizen then, because it's DX11 minimum. That'd be funny.
I'm honestly surprised that go buy an OEM version of Windows, $100.
Just wait till it's on sale. You get it cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are our responses to this question? Torx, why don't you go first?
Well, I spent a fair amount of money following in Nox's footsteps, trying to get this game to run properly. And at this point, I guess my concern, which probably isn't the concern of everybody, is that they fix hit detection, kind of like we were just talking about a second ago.
All right, Nox, how about you?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with, is memory leaks and hit detection for me.
All right. I'll round it out. I agree multi-core support is what I'm looking for as well. I want to be able, for the game, to take advantage of all the cores that I have in my system.
Yeah. I was joking about Star Citizen a second ago, right? I was launching...
That was a joke?
Well, I was joking about the minimum requirements for it. It requires 8 gigs of RAM, most up-to-date video card you can run these days, a quad-core, and I can't remember what the other thing is, and that's minimum requirements to even run it on low.
Well, it's not even going to be out for another 2 years, isn't it?
I know, I just thought it was funny. That's why I was chuckling about that. I'm glad that I can actually run something 2 years from now.
Wasn't the original bid $500,000, and he's got over $3 million?
17 million is the
God.
Latest one, so we'll see what happens.
I've spent thousands of dollars, and the game's not even out. And I actually heard someone bitching about that because all these guys are going to have motherships upon release, and any new player that just wants to play it's not going to have a fighting chance in the world, and it's going to suck and kill the game. And I actually kind of agree with that.
I don't know, man. I know there's a lot time left before this game's released, so we'll see what happens. But
this isn't Star Citizen Cast.
Yes, it is. It's StarCast.
StarCast. 2 years from now, we'll walk down that road. Okay.
Yeah.
So this week's question: how long is acceptable for you to allow SOE to improve performance before you get impatient and demand new content? There's your question for this week, guys.
That's a good question.
For me, it's 1 day.
Wow. I thought you said you wanted multi-core support.
Until next week.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me write that down so I don't forget.
We do have I think Steve finished out a new Community Clash bumper, but I don't have it set up yet, so we already used the old one for now.
I was going to say, it's going to be new for Nox and I, too.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourselves! This is the ReachCast Community Clash.
I hope he leaves those sword swings in. So last week's Community Clash was supposed to be Future Crew versus Iron Wolves. Due to every vehicle explosion causing the test server to crash, we were unable to run this match. This is Monday, September 2nd, and it is still there. So I strongly doubt this week we'll be able to have it as well, but they might surprise me and put in a fix tomorrow or Wednesday early. We'll have to see. Either way, Community Clash is moving forward. We have a lot of help from a lot of fun people. You'll see if you check it out, but we'll give you more news on that next week. And now, on to the ReachCast University.
Jimmy, what are you doing in there?
I'm playing PlanetSide 2, Mom.
Are you decent?
Yeah, Mom. What do you want?
You got a letter from the school.
Well, let me see it.
Open it up.
Jeez, I am, Mom.
Well, what's it say?
It says...
Congratulations. You've been accepted into the ReachCast University.
Cool.
My baby is growing up.
You know, I really want to make some ReachCast University letterhead next time we send out dog tags.
That would be amazing.
You got to put it on fancy paper too.
Right, yeah.
Got to be embossed.
Yeah.
ReachCast U.
With seals and everything.
That would be amazing.
Can you like
Wax seal it.
Seal it with wax. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The sheet with a coat of arms.
Yeah.
Yes, University coat of arms.
Oh,
All right,
man.
so
The first line will say, dum, dum, dum.
oh my god. So after spending some time with what I now call the banana skin, it had zero effect on my performance, and my KDR was actually better than normal, especially given I hadn't played in like a week. So look awesome and be the envy of your empire.
So the banana skin.
Cosmetics.
Tell people what the banana skin is.
Banana skin is the SOE Live NC skin that is yellow. And so if you see a skin that you like, don't think, oh, I don't want to die. I like that skin though. Because really, it's a matter of using your head and playing with brains. So, yeah, if you walk out in the open, it doesn't matter what you're going to be wearing. They're going to shoot you.
I will echo what you said, because I'm using the Vanu one exclusively on everything I use, and my KDR is through the friggin' roof.
Be the envy of your empire.
And do you get a lot of whispers from people asking you what you're wearing?
I have no idea because I don't pay attention to the chat box.
I've been
It
getting
makes some noise now, though, doesn't it? So
yeah, it does. I've been getting a ton lately, and everybody wants to know where that skin comes from. And I say SOE Live 2013, and they're all like, some of them are like, "What's that?"
The Vanu one gives more envy than the NC one.
Well, Vanu really want to be pretty. I mean, look at the Empire. Really, I mean, it's like playing Barbie dolls.
I don't even know where that comes from.
Yeah, that's, if you see a cosmetic you like, get it.
Just wear it.
Don't. I mean, unless you're a Max and you're busting up in the armor standing next to a Max that has nothing, yeah, you're gonna get targeted first then.
Yeah.
But like in terms of colors, it doesn't make much of a difference. If you're in a bad spot, you're in a bad spot.
Mm.
You know what else I thought? If you're colorblind, can you even see that yellow?
Oh, maybe that's
Do you
why
show up invisible to some people?
Maybe that's why I was doing well, because I was running around the bushes in the biolab.
You think that many people are colorblind that play this game?
Yes!
Isn't there no colorblind mode in the game?
For a long time, there were lots of people wanting colorblind map configurations, and that happened.
Because they can't see Nox.
Yep. I'm invisible.
Alright. The good, the bad, and the OP. Jeez.
The yellow.
Have another drink on me, soldier.
Okay, thank you kindly.
If you can look hard enough past all the death and all the sorrow, there are good things. You must remember that we will overcome. The good, the bad, and the overpowered.
We need to get that Hellboy Wyatt Earp back for some more bumpers. Good to go.
Maybe he can add something to the ReachCast University bumper.
Yeah.
All right, my good this week. My Lasher kill death ratio is now over 2.0. And now I'm just wondering when I'll get that coveted Dasan Fall outfit invite.
I don't think they include Lasher as your primary weapon, like KD being higher than 2.0.
Of course it is. No, I did tell Nox why my kill death is over 2 right now.
Yeah, you're whatever.
You called me a very bad name for doing it, too.
Are you, like, sitting behind and, like...
The other version of Pansy is what I called you.
So what are you doing, Intersect?
Well, just like everybody else in the game, I'm taking full advantage of the explosion
not everyone
bug.
else, because I don't do it.
Well, you're dumb. Currently, explosions are able to travel through... the splash from an explosion travels through shields. Well, so does the Lasher ball of lightning. So I just if you get the right angle up against the shield, you splash directly through the shield and damage everybody inside.
Your KD needs to be like 0.2.
It does.
That's BS. That's
It's
horrible.
the same thing if
I
somebody...
called him the other version of Pansy.
It's the same thing if people are doing, tank spam against a shield. Why do you think there's so much tank spam against shields right now as well? They're getting that perfect angle and then firing into the shield to splash on through. And it's something that is in the works to being corrected. I believe the next game update it will be corrected. So
You better get that KD while you can.
they're going to get up to 3.0 before they fix that.
And then ride it out.
And then just never play again.
Yeah.
All right, my bad for the week, though, is the test server woes. It is real tough to do a community clash when you disconnect every 5 minutes or you crash when your vehicle takes damage. Really makes it tough to do a community clash. I shot my vehicle flash and I crashed.
Yeah.
Put a C4 on my flash and blew it up. Crashed the game.
Crashed.
The second that usually about 2-3 seconds after the explosion of the vehicle goes off, you'll be disconnected from the server and it'll crash.
I thought you were doing damage to your observer camera vehicle, and I was like,
No, I didn't try that.
Yeah. I C4 myself and my observer cam fly around.
I don't think you can.
It would be awesome if you could. Alright.
So my good is I finally got some time playing with my banana skin.
That sounds dirty.
My banana skin.
Why do you use that inflection, Father? Like my banana skin?
My banana skin? I don't know why.
Sitting in front of my computer playing with my banana skin.
Oh, no.
Okay. Anyway, say you actually made
That really got you, didn't it? That got you.
You made a funny joke that time. Anyway,
The show is over. Good night, everybody.
Alright, so my bad is I don't really know. It's vague, but I don't want to say bad things, so I'm in a state of knowinglessness.
Yeah.
Is that a new word you just receiving?
I'm in
knowinglessness.
I'm in limbo. Yeah, no, I made it up
I'm in
about
the-
5 seconds ago. It said it.
Unknowledgeableness of what's going on.
Knowinglessness.
Yeah.
You gotta get as many ness things in there as you can.
Alright. My good for the week is having a lot of fun learning the medic and going through the assault rifles, trying to Araxium each one. My other good is I'm thoroughly enjoying the first 2 books in the Ender's Game series. If you read much in the way of sci-fi, you should check out Ender's Game. It's a good book. And
Unless you have a problem with the author.
Why would they have a problem with the author?
He is very anti-homosexual.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Well, that's his bag. I don't care. Writes a good book. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's soon to be crappy movie because they're changing everything good about the book. So, anyways,
I do agree. If you have not read Ender's Game, it is a book that you should go and read. It is a quick read too.
Yeah, the
Quick
second
read,
one's
very good.
The second one, the second one follow up to it is really good too. I'm almost done with that one.
I did.
Anyways,
I read them all, but I definitely like the first one.
the first one's definitely the best so far.
It is on my must-read list, regardless of the author's inclinations.
So, anyways, my bad for the week is nothing major for Labor Day. I was hoping like double, triple station cash, maybe double XP. They did give us something, 25% off all cosmetics.
Is that still going on right now?
I don't know. I don't care.
buy that yellow skin that. Oh wait, you can't.
All right, on to ReachCast mailbag.
Oh, it's a perfect morning. Great timing, the mailman's just coming.
Morning. Here's the mail. Big bag, a big bag.
He must have been ready to get away. Very strange. It's the sneaking sound. Going to take a look here in this bag of mail. Oh no!
Now you just open the ReachCast mail bag.
Alrighty. The first call is from somebody that Tom will announce.
Kelly, he announces it in his own thing.
Yeah, just let it go. Let it roll.
Fair enough.
What's up, ReachCast? This is Fofo7 Miller TR. Alright, so I was thinking what makes new players rage quit and uninstall the game, and I realized besides the bad optimization, which is getting fixed, we also have steep learning curve, which is awful and steep and stuff. Alright, so I was thinking, why not just put a terminal onto which you can sign up after 100 hours of gameplay, since by then you're pretty much experienced, and then when a new player enters, go through the tutorial, yada yada, and then is forced to sign up on the terminal, and when you sign up, you basically, and I'm now speaking for the trainer, you get alerted that somebody just signed up. You can drag and put him into a private squad at any time, and then you just show him around a bit. Basically, the trainee doesn't need to talk, but you're gonna have to talk, because basically you're gonna train him and blah blah blah, and just show him around how stuff works, how this and that works, biolabs, blah blah blah, and basically just so he's not gonna run around like a headless chicken. Though the only thing I can find that would be wrong with this would be people that are afraid of going into that private squad and being helped by the elite player, because, well, let's face it, you don't know what's gonna happen. Anyways, this would kinda award like some sort of team play-ish element to the game, and also players helping players. The trainer could get awarded by something, I don't know, after 10 newbies he gets a camo, or every newbie he goes through he gets a boost or something, and yeah, that would be freaking awesome, and I think that would kind of fix the problem, but not really. Anyways, this was Wolfo7 saying ReachCast, you guys are still awesome, keep it up.
Did he time that music perfectly or what?
He did 208, and that's actually the follow through that the intro music clip. So he did that like dead on.
Wolfo7 coming through again.
My favorite line of that entire call was, "That might fix it, but probably not really." Was right at the end. I was like, okay.
You know what? I think that's an awesome idea, though.
Well, they do it in EverQuest, don't they?
Yeah, it's called the Pathfinder.
I haven't noticed. I haven't had someone help me.
I don't remember what it's called, but we talked about that, doing like a kind of like a not intern, I don't know what you call it, but having somebody like shadow you and mentor program, yeah.
You just like lead a new player squad that only new players can join.
I think it's a hard thing, you know, because I know they lose a lot of people.
It should be optional. It shouldn't be like...
Oh, it has to be optional.
Obviously. But I think that's a really awesome idea. I mean, sign up, be like, yeah, I'll teach new players right now, and then like new players start joining your squad, and obviously only if they want to listen, and then play with them, like help them out.
You know, my biggest concern right now, not my biggest concern, my biggest change I would make, and this is something simple, and I know I'm going to get some flack for it, is I would make the tutorial not an option. I would make it forced on all new players. Instead of being able to exit out. Now, obviously...
They're planning on giving them some awesome bonuses.
Yeah, you get bonuses from it now.
Like, you're going to start getting guns and different guns. Like, you're going to be able to get some guns that specialize into your desire of gameplay style. Like, close quarters, you might get like an SMG or a shotgun or something. And if you're like a long-range person, they'll give you some other stuff that's more long-range oriented. Or heavy, they're going to give you like a decimator or something, I think. Like... They're going to start giving you some stuff for doing the tutorial. So, I mean, players who are just starting and don't do it would be
dumb,
stupid.
You know, all I can think of when you say that, though, is, you know, they answering questions to find out what their playstyle is. All I can think back is to Ultima and going, "No, I answered that question wrong. Now I'm a friggin' tinker."
Well, when it comes out, you know what we should do is like put a guide up on what answers give you what stuff.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I'm sure somebody else will rip it off before we do it, though.
The only other thing I got out of that call is that we need Wolf07 to help re-record the ReachCast mailbag, because he can be the guy opening the mail.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, hit us up, Wolf. We'll have you opening up mail and blowing stuff up. All right, we have a
Getting blown up.
Oh, this is Vodafone 7. My mail is here. What can it be?
wow. That's actually not bad. That wasn't too bad. We have a 2-part call, and I'm only going to play the first part this week because it's a fairly lengthy call, but it's a good call with some good input about the verse maneuver changes for ESFs. So we kind of put that to bed from our listener Nitro. He's a good guy. So here's the first part of the call.
Hello, I'm Nitro One, and I'm a pilot and air leader for Imperial Reach on Waterson Circuit. And in light of new ESF changes, I would like to negate the resolution that the nerfing of the reverse maneuver will benefit ESF combat and PlanetSide 2 as a whole. To negate the resolution, I will be presenting 3 contentions. My first contention is that it makes dogfighting interesting and unique. My second contention is that the reverse maneuver is not what kills pilots the most. My third contention is that the reverse maneuver does not dominate in the numbers game. My first contention, that it makes dogfighting interesting and unique. There is a risk and reward factor to the reverse maneuver. You have to transition into it. It's not an instant action. So in that case, if someone is chasing you, they have a second or two as you're transitioning into the reverse maneuver to shoot at you when you're most vulnerable. It also has a huge factor in management of fuel and afterburners. And contrary to some people's belief, the reverse maneuver is not one single maneuver. It is simply a category of maneuvers that use the vertical thrust to the user's advantage. It is also the only maneuver that keeps the two dogfighters from simply having a turn battle where they circle around each other. For my second contention, the reverse maneuver is not what kills pilots the most. Pretty much everyone agrees you learn how to fly in ESF in a few stages, such as first learning the controls and flipping yourself in warp gate properly, then learning to shoot, as well as learning maneuvers, basic V-thrust, hovering, and spinning and rolling. Then you learn not to tunnel vision all the way back to enemy warp gates, and learning to choose your targets strategically and not get into losing battles. People often blame the reverse maneuver because they get themselves into these situations that they can't win anyway, even if they knew how to use a reverse maneuver, or even if the enemy didn't have the reverse maneuver. That is what gets people killed, especially new pilots, more than anything, is that inexperience of not knowing what to do and what not to do. My third contention is that the reverse maneuver is not dominant in the numbers game. And this is very important because this is what SOE said they were trying to do by nerfing the reverse maneuver, was to make it more teamwork based. And granted, that's great, they should, but this isn't the way to do it because the reverse maneuver isn't used for teamwork, and it loses against teamwork every time. And the reason is the reverse maneuver is solo tactic. It is meant for you to shoot at one target while moving so randomly all over the place that the enemy can't aim at you. However, teamwork still prevails because to all your teammates, the reverse maneuver user is only a hovering target. The reverse maneuver is not as erratic as it looks from the other side. It is simply a fast movement while hovering. It is actually slower than just moving forward. This makes them an extremely easy target for teammates. As someone who leads air squads, I definitely understand why some people may say the reverse maneuver is overpowered, because in a one-on-one battle, it is a difficult situation. However, as soon as you get to your friends, that reverse maneuver pilot is screwed into the ground, because not only are they outnumbered, but they're outgunned and outskilled. The combined skill of 4 pilots is much higher than the skill of any one pilot. In conclusion, the reverse maneuver and the use of it makes dogfighting interesting and unique, is not what kills pilots the most, and does not dominate in the numbers game. Those 3 contentions pretty much explain how the reverse maneuver does what SOE wants it to do, which is to encourage the use of teamwork, as well as develop an interesting flight mechanic for dogfighting. Now, this does mark the end of my speech. However, I do want to mention my own personal thoughts.
And that's where I cut it off. So that will be next week's call, because we're already about 4 minutes in. But I'm of the opinion that it was really good content, so that's why I let it go as long as it did.
It's good stuff.
Agreed.
I think it's a really strong argument.
And I totally agree. I think I think it was well thought out. So I think next week will be interesting to hear. I listened to a little bit of it, and it's very good as well. So next week,
I actually had a big reverse maneuver discussion at a cookout I was at on Saturday. Believe it or not.
Somebody else played with your brother.
No, with some of my friends who play, and we were all. One of them is a pilot in game, and he didn't even know that the reverse maneuver existed. And so, of course, I had to explain it to him, how it's done, stuff like that. So.
Oh, wow. All right. First email is yours.
Yes. First up is from Tavian. He says, "Hey, guys, love the show. Really gets me through the shifts at work. I finally found my favorite playstyle of the medic and have really been excelling with it. I haven't found an outfit yet that I enjoy playing with, so I'm typically lone wolf. I usually just jump in a pickup squad and go with it. I'm currently BR35. I have received feedback from a few squads and outfits that it's common etiquette to use a white camouflage regardless of the terrain as a medic. It allows your own faction and the enemy faction to easily identify me. They even insinuated that as a medic, enemies won't typically target me first. I assume because I can get fallen soldiers back up and give them increased opportunities for more kills/certs. I found that to be a bit ridiculous until I noticed I didn't get targeted as much once I did it. My question is this a common practice for medics? Should I stick with it, or is it just some bullshit that people have been feeding me? Throw a shout out for me to the Matherson outfits that listen to the show. I'm looking for a good one that enjoys listening. I need people to talk with about it."
Matherson, huh? There's a lot of Matherson people that we know, so.
Yes, there are, except he didn't tell us what faction he plays for.
Yeah,
I say it's a bunch of BS.
I don't think I've ever heard that argument in my life up to this point playing this game. I'll put it this way. I don't differentiate depending on your camo. I'll murder anybody of the opposite faction the second I see them.
They have a red arrow over their names. They're getting shot at.
It's not going to mean a bit of difference to me what their camo is. That's just me. And I honestly, not saying that this is totally BS, because maybe there's some sub-faction outfit that...
Well, if that was the case, it'd be a server thing, not a game-wide thing, I would say, too.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard this. I play across all the US servers, depending on the week, on the faction, but I don't think I've ever heard this argument from any outfit I played with. Have you guys?
No.
I ran medic for the first, 5 months of the game, and I never wore a white camo unless I was on Asimir.
Yeah, I mean, you use what works with the terrain. I don't think anybody cares what. In short, dude, I think they're BS. I think they're kind of yanking your chain. But
I will say I did look him up on the PlanetSide 2 player site, and it looks like, I'm assuming it's the same person. He is Vanu, and he has already joined Ghost of the Revolution.
Oh, good choice, dude. Goaters, good choice. So, all right, next.
All right, this one's from George, and he is answering the community question that we asked about performance issues. He has 2 answers. One is FPS, and he went from a really old AMD X3 720, 4 gigs of RAM, 560 Ti video card, 20 to 25 FPS in large fights. Now he has a FX 8350 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 660 Ti processor with 28 to 33. So, I don't know.
He has roughly the same thing that I'm running right now.
Yeah. Well, I
Except
mean, that's
an AMD graphics card, not a 660.
I have a Intel chip, and that sounds about right for FPS for me too. I mean, pretty much everyone's getting it. So while FPS going down stinks, you're not the only person out there. So,
well, I think he sums it up.
It would be nice
perfectly.
if it were better.
I think he sums it up perfectly that most people expect when you make a step up from
cost-wise, especially
2-core, a processor with 2 cores up to a processor with 8 cores, that you'd expect more than a 3 FPS increase.
You can't use the old maximum and the new minimum as a 3 FPS increase. That is bad math. It's like 10. It's 8.
Yes, you're right.
8.
It's like
it's 8.
It's
No,
8.
it's 8.
That's
For splitting
Still,
It's still
it's not-
atrocious.
Yeah.
That is still atrocious. Either way, I mean, you're running a 660 Ti, which is not top of the line, but it's damn close. And
Very good card. That's what I use.
you should. I agree that optimization should be fixed. you
So-
guys mind if I go on to the next one? Or
No.
oh,
His other issue is latency, and he says the number of times I die after line of sight fire is staggering. This is where like you run behind the wall, and you're sitting out there, and somehow you still die.
oh yeah,
I have that happen
Yeah.
too. That's common
All
in
the
most
time.
FPSs now. Latency is something you're never going to be able to fix. Internet, unless we're all on like super dedicated fiber, there's always going to be latency issues, and the strategy they're choosing is opposed to other strategies, which I think are worse than this strategy. So,
Now, I got a question. I'm wondering if it's just me, because I don't notice ever dying from line of sight fire. You
oh,
guys say
dude,
that you both
all the
have it?
time,
enough.
all the time.
This is coming from you who said you don't notice hits not registering. So,
Well, I
noticed
did.
it's
I
not
used to notice
registering.
hits not.
I've noticed dying around the corner all the time.
Well, this is where I want to get into the point. I used to notice hits not registering, and that was all a desync issue. But then once I turned off all the monitoring software on my motherboard, I don't have these issues anymore.
Yes, you do. You just don't realize it.
Okay, I'll have to defer to you, but I was noticing them before, and I'm not noticing them now. I
Hit
know who killed me
That
every
just
single time.
means no. You know what that means? Is that means you think you're worse than you are.
Perhaps. I know where all my deaths are
But
coming
you also use a lasher, so
This is true, but I'm trying to say I know where all my deaths are coming from. And I don't believe that they're from me running behind cover and getting shot on the way.
No,
Coming from.
This is my argument, and I can verify it with countless times. That I'll engage with somebody, I will turn and run to obtain a better engagement area, and they would have hit me, which should have been able to hit me maybe once or twice before I catch cover. Well, I'll be dead by the time I get behind cover. I'll get behind cover, I'll turn back around after I'm already behind cover, and then I will die. And that's a problem.
And I'm
That's
saying
what
I
he's
never
talking about.
experienced that.
It happens to me all the time.
aren't ducking for cover.
Yeah. Anybody in this game, because it's not a client side specific issue. It's
Internet
server.
latency, and it's how they choose to do their net code. Like, it's either that or your other option, which is having the hitbox not be with the player model, and that's a whole different other issue that's way worse. That's like the person lagging can be around the corner and killing you before you see their model. And that's a way worse strategy than running behind a wall and dying.
Yeah, I mean, I live with it, but it is a problem right now. I wish it wasn't as much of a problem. Wish they could minimize it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go on to the next email. Some guy from Glenn says, talking about our community question for last week, he says they should basically check who is running what of the main people that quit. So if somebody quits, they should check what their CPU and GPU is when they quit, and then gather metrics from that and build their optimization around player retention. That's the short of his email, and I agree. He asked people to read all the guides about improving FPS as well.
No,
NVIDIA
he
has
doesn't tell people to. He tells the devs to.
Well, yeah, but there is a good NVIDIA guide out there as well.
I mean, really, they should. You can't always tell who quits unless you're using like a month of not playing as your timer. But like, you can
I guess
just
it depends.
take your general populace of active players within some sort of activity percentage compared. to
just
other
take
players.
the biggest percentage of players and see what they run metric wise as far as the hardware, and then optimize for that. That's what I would do. But you guys have anything else about that email? I'm going to go to names.
Well, I don't know too much about optimization because I'm not a programmer. But will optimizing for, like, let's just take a hypothetical situation. And let's say that when they look at that data, and the most people that are quitting are people who are using 2-core AMD and 2-core Intel processors. if they were to optimize for those two processors specifically, would everybody above that level also see a gain, or will it only affect those people?
It would depend, and I think
Depends on how granular they get.
I think it depends. I think that because they have separate graphics settings in this game, that you can optimize around those graphics settings to meet the requirements of your majority of your player base. So say they say they put something out there that said anybody with these specs or below should probably use this setting, which they should be, your most video card manufacturers will be telling you that already anyways. But if you're going to be playing the game generally in all settings, low to ultra, needs to be optimized better. It doesn't matter, period, what you're running, because you still get your FPS is still, I think I'm running like on medium for a significantly decent rig, just because it's easier to play that way. Usually better KDA, but
right. I mean, I understand all that. I'm just trying to get down to the point of what Glenn is saying, if his point is valid or not. Because he's saying to focus on a specific group of players, and I'm wondering if you focus on those particular players, if that's going to help everybody else, or just those players.
There will be...
And I know Tom's answer was it depends how granular they get with it, so that's...
I mean, I honestly can't say too much. I imagine you can get pretty granular, but I've never done code that goes into specific cores on a processor. So
probably largely dependent on this engine as well. So yeah. We're both ignorant of that. We can't really speak with any knowledge of that.
Okay, I was just wondering if you guys happen to know. That's all.
I mean, I don't even...
Because it kind of makes the difference between Glenn's comment being a good idea or,
they need to target whoever the largest part of their player base is right now.
Enhancing multi-core processing as a whole should also enhance those players as well as people who have more than 2 cores.
You got to keep in mind though that if the bottleneck is GPU, which you watch even with a decent GPU, you're bottlenecking GPU sometimes on high. That there's optimization to be done on the GPU side, not just multi-core support. So there's a lot of fixing that needs to be done, and I'm sure we're speaking in complete ignorance. I want to see if I can get somebody from SOE.
I know I'm speaking in complete ignorance.
So do I.
We need to grab somebody from SOE that knows about this stuff, because I would love to hear somebody that actually knows their ass from a hole in the ground as far as this discussion is concerned. And tell us what's going on.
Speaking of complete ignorance, let's hear Torx read some names.
Yeah, thanks. Yes. We have Falling Down, Urzula, Nitro.
Thanks for proving my point. Second name in.
Mass BTS, PW Guy 93, Lord Mondando, Ronalex, GS Zenith, M-Blades, Gustavo M, Logie, Crater, Captain Amita.
Wow. I like how you kind of went Crater. Like that name means something to you that we don't know.
Thuggernaut. That's my favorite yet so far.
You got to read it the way it's written.
Thuggernaut.
It's all caps. You got to yell it.
Griffstar, the Real Metal Storm. Habiki 45, Habiki, whatever. Rogvir, what is this?
Come on, it's not that hard.
Kabuchki, Kubachevsky.
But I bet you there's some other
Rough Dog. I'm not even going to focus on that name. That's messed up. Rough Dog, B Postal.
Oh, someone's name messed up.
Hervox, a random percentage.
Dude, you're adding 3 letters there. It's just random percent.
Random percentage. Tatwi. Timithos. I assume he's going for Ghost. Goist 9. Surusan. Sunrock. Pine Tree Road. What the...
I like that name. That's
Cammy Camera.
It's like One Tree Hill.
Oh, it's your favorite name coming up now.
Timo was taken.
Just wait until we get later on.
TGX Craig. A Threat to You. Bob the Flower. Wazdy. Noxious. Emperor Newt. Gamut. Noxious X. Emperor Newt. Gamut 10. Kaylee J, Time Elude, Stu, John Lee Pettimore. Really? Terramofor, Galron. What the? Ramfahar? I know there's got to be a better way to pronounce that. Ramfair? Whatever. Chip M. Hazard, HMR85, Rabib, Falcon BR, Baby Fark, McGee's. Is that supposed to be a C, though?
No, it's right. It's not McCheese.
Baby Fark, McCheese. Fierce Deity, Fenris, Max Hubert, Solid Gold Jeebus. What the? Slacker 101, Kahanel? Oh, whatever. Gay Unicorn 6969. That's a VS player. Wolf Crone.
You skipped one.
PH Lap.
Flap, baby. That is flap.
Whatever. I'm sorry. I didn't know it. Caffeine Powered. That's a good one. Dakota Sewix. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Wow, I should know that one. I know that's a better name for that.
Yeah, Sioux, like the Indians.
Yeah, Dakota Sioux.
Sewix.
I know I'd see that word somewhere.
This is why Torch reads the names.
Tank 2615. If Loop. Actually, I know what that means. Shadow Batu. Shadow Bear, I'm assuming is what we're shooting for. Jarnish. Burns Cacti. Agru.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, that one's a little.
Lava 777. Immedius Rage. Hack Nose. Delicious.
Good job.
I guess. I'm sorry that I'm not doing lead speak master. Nitram London. Yeah, I guess. Wallabond, Silver Bullet, 1989. Sprose, Alien 51. Dunt Stubble, Dave God. Jeez, how many names do we have? Vandox. I already read that one. Lanfear was taken. Our Leafier was taken.
Another was taken.
He and Tima must be friends.
Yeah. Bryneth. I just going for Brienne of Tarth is what he's shooting for, yeah. Painwalker, Lamphix, whatever. NYX Pip, and Bucket Nate. These lists are going to kill me.
You guys,
Go on
that's why we want more people answering.
No, we don't want more, because half the show is going to be reading names.
More people with names like, what was that one? It's my favorite one, I think. Pine Tree Road.
GVS Unicorn, 6969.
I think on our 100th show that we should do shots for everyone he gets wrong.
Oh, that's horrible. That's a horrible idea. We're all going to be dead, because at the end of the show, no one's even going to hear us drunk.
1 year anniversary, contact info slurred.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll start episode 52 with
Speaking
names.
Of our contact info, you can reach us on our website at reachcastshow.com. You can email us at reachcastshow@gmail.com. Call us like Wolf07 and Nitro at 415-787-3224. Again, 415-78-REACH. Twitch, you can find us twitch.tv/reachcast. Our Steam group is still up and active. Search for ReachCast on Steam and join us. Our show Twitter is at ReachCast Show. My Twitter is at The Derringer.
I'm at Noxia, Noxxia, baby.
I'm at Timo was taken.
As always, we want to thank the rest of the ReachCast crew who do not have a voice in the show. Steve, Cliff, John, Jenny Boo, and Hamma. That is it for this week's show. We are out of here.
Can't wait to hear you plastered on these shows.
Never gonna happen.
Hamma Boo's coming back when that happens.
Hamma Boo.
That's right, Sergeant. You made the call. All right, soldiers. You've done a great job here today. Let's get our stuff and get the hell out of here.